Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. When Avdiivka fell in the Russians' hands, I told you that the next one is going to be Kupiansk. And that's where the Russians are going. I'm going to show you an article from the Ukrainians where their reporting gives us the indication that actually the Russians are advancing big time in Kupiansk. And I will explain how we reached that conclusion. We, because I'm talking to myself in plural. All right, I'm going to show you a map too. Here, Ukrinform, 20th of February 2024. Evacuation from Kupiansk direction intensified due to massive Russian shelling. So how come only now they're shelling? Or as you advance with the front, you are able to hit further. Therefore, you have to evacuate those guys so they don't get shelled. Because if you stay here, what? Are you bringing longer range missile systems? Is that what you do? I think these guys are advancing, so this is the range that they've been using. Zoop, boop, zoop, boop, zoop. This is the front, this is the Russians. And now the advance. The whole thing moves over there, so you have to take these guys out. Or these guys right here out, that the front is going to come and take them. Let's read this article and see what arguments these guys are giving us. Evacuation from Kupiansk direction has intensified due to the intensification of Russian shelling, with more than 500 people evacuated over the past 2 weeks. Very interesting. What the hell was that? Yeah, this is exactly for those guys. Let me show you where Kupiansk is. Map of Ukraine, contact line here. Kupiansk is right here in the far east of Ukraine, or the north of the contact line between the Russians and NATO. Ukraine. My bad. So here it is. This is Kupiansk. Now this is, we see how they advance here. They were around here, and now they're over here. Now this is a map that I know these guys are doing a bad job in updating it, but I will give you a map that is much better and much detailed and updated. All right, and here it is. This little bulge here, this is like a breast. Well, what can you do? The brain sees what it's thinking of, right? Here is Kupiansk, and this is how close the Russians are versus the other map right here. So the Russians are actually like this much. They took all this on this updated. Close. We don't want to continue right here. So they're much further with this side teeth or breast. Let's be nice. Okay. So let's see further what these guys are saying. The head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration, Oleg Sinhubov, said this on air of the Telethon United News, Ukrinform reported. The number of attacks has increased. Over 25 settlements were shelled over the last day. 3 of them were in the Kupiansk direction. This is what we know because in the border settlements where there are almost no people anymore, the situation is also quite difficult. Kupiansk was again hit by guided aerial bombs, an education institution, a cafe, village. The enemy is firing from artillery, tanks, mortars, everything they have at their disposal, using multiple rocket launchers and drones. 2 times? Okay, no problem. We got it. According to him, over the past 2 weeks, more than 500 people have been taken out of this area, about 30 of them children. The Kharkiv Regional Police reported that the shelling in the area has not stopped. Together with Red Cross volunteers, law enforcement offers evacuates 10 residents, retirees, people with disabilities, people with limited mobility, and various injured women to Kharkiv. So they go from Kupiansk to Kharkiv. So let me show you. They go from Kupiansk to Kharkiv, which is right here. So they move them from here, from the teeth, they move them over here. Basically, technically, literally. Tragedy. In the Lyman Kupiansk direction, that is Kupiansk-Lyman, that's south. So let me show you. So it's going to talk about this direction from Kupiansk down to Lyman, which is a little bit south of that. So from this direction on the big map, I can show you the other one is much easier. They're talking about this direction, Kupiansk-Lyman, Krasny-Lyman, this direction talking about. Now this is Kharkiv, this is Luhansk, in the south here is Donetsk, and then Zaporozhye, just so you know what we're talking about, this area right here. So in the Lyman-Kupiansk direction, this guy added, Russian troops continue to storm the positions of the Ukrainian military, trying to take advantage of favorable height. Kupiansk remains an important logistical target for them. Over the last day, Ukrainian defenders eliminated We don't care about that. There are other people who do that for us day and night. As reported on January 16, a mandatory evacuation was announced from the Kindrashivka and Kurilivka communities of the Kupiansk district. According to RMA, more than 3,000 residents remain in the settlements of these communities, unfortunately. So the Russians are pushing big time on Kupiansk-Lyman. That's where the shit is going, which is, as I said, Kupiansk-Lyman. Let me see if I can. All right, here you go. With all these things, shit. Let's go back to these guys. They look better, but these are not updated. I don't like that because these guys are weasels and they are Sputnik. What's going on? Smack them a few times. If that would work, we would do. All right, my friends, pay attention on Kupiansk. And it seems like they're gonna, if they started a momentum into the Avdiivka, they could keep going westward. We'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.